Hello and welcome to Simple Country Place. I have 4 super easy real life meal ideas for you today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching. Please subscribe, welcome, and enjoy. And I would like to begin by apologizing. I know this is late. I don't have a specific posting date, but I try and post earlier in the week, but it's the holiday season. Things are busy, so here I am on Saturday night. So anyways, the first thing I'm making is like a ham, mac and cheese casserole type situation. I have some ham there that I'd cooked and it was in my freezer. I thawed it out, just dicing that up. And for like the casserole aspect, I am using cream of celery, some sour cream, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder, and I'm mixing that all together. And I was using the rest of that sour cream, so that is why I use that same spatula. Don't come at me. I'm not cross-contaminating. The sour cream jug was empty after I stuck that in there, so it went in the garbage can. Once I got that mixed together a little bit, I threw in that ham, and then I had also cooked some pasta. I just had shell pasta I'd cooked, and I had also steamed like half of a bag of California blend vegetables and threw that in as well. So it's gonna be like kind of like a one pot, one dish situation, because I actually made this and then I had to leave when it was done, and I just left it warm in the oven for my husband when he got home. So added the pasta, the veggies, the ham to that sauce mixture, and then I'm going to be adding shredded, like half of a blockish of shredded pepper jack cheese, and then some shredded sharp cheddar cheese, because I wanted this to be like mac and cheese but with protein and vegetables. So adding all that in and then mixing that around, and then I will be putting that into a sprayed baking dish, like a prepared casserole dish, and then topping it with the rest of that shredded pepper jack and some more cheddar cheese. And then I did cover that and put that in the oven. Like, all these things are basically cooked. However, I wanted everything to heat up together, the cheese to melt, and everything to get nice and creamy. And yeah, like I said, I made this, it got done, and then I had to run. My nephew invited me to bring a friend to dance class, so I had to go to his dance class with him, which was super fun and cute. But yeah, left this in the oven. My husband got home like 5 minutes after I left, and it was all ready to go for him. And yeah, he said he really liked it. I mean, it's like mac and cheese type situation. What's not to love? He likes ham, and there's vegetables already in it. My nephew was not home this night, so he did not eat this, but I feel like he probably would. I don't know how spicy it was with the pepper jack, but you could substitute that with any type of cheese that you like. On this night, I'm making like creamy burrito type things. My brother had to put his dog down this day, and so he was sad, and I invited him over for dinner, and I asked him what he wanted, and he said something like Mexican-y. So this is what I came up with. I have some cream cheese there that I added diced tomatoes with green chilies in, and I did drain the can. And then I'll also be adding to that mixture shredded cheese and like just a smidge of salsa, and mixing that all together. And while I'm doing this, I had some ground beef, like taco meat, getting ready to go, just how I always make it. So that will be like prepared as well. So to flour tortilla, I'm adding some of that prepared taco meat and then that cream cheese mixture with that. And just rolled that up and put the seam side down on that cooking sheet there. Once I got all those rolled, I am just spraying the top with some cooking spray and then putting those in the oven, and that just helps the tortillas to crisp up. And then when those came out, I put more shredded cheese on the top of them and some more salsa, popped it back into the oven just for that shredded cheese to melt on the top. And then I just served that with our favorite toppings. So lettuce, taco sauce, tomatoes, some diced onion, and yeah, again, my nephew wasn't home, but my brother really enjoyed this. My husband liked it. Yeah, super easy and delicious. On this night, I'm making like a goulash situation with tortellini. So I have some ground beef that I'm just browning with bell pepper and onion. And to that, for seasoning, I'll be adding Italian seasoning, oregano, basil, salt, and pepper. And then, as you can see, the beef is like kind of halfway cooked here. And so I'm adding all those seasonings now, and then letting the beef finish cooking. Once that ground beef has cooked through, I am adding some minced garlic, throwing that around a little bit, letting that cook for just a couple seconds. And then I will be adding 2 cans of diced tomatoes. One of the cans I did have I think it was like a garlic and herb flavored. So one is that, and then I just had a regular can of diced tomatoes, added both those in, juices and all. And then I am adding another round of seasoning, more basil and more Italian seasoning, and then letting that cook, simmer, come together. And while that was simmering, I had some just frozen cheese tortellini getting cooked on the side. Once that beef and tomato mixture has obviously came to a simmer, you can see that it's been simmering for a while. I'm adding in that cooked tortellini and just like a smidge of pasta water. You can see me just dumping some in there at the end. And then one more round of seasoning. and I'm just adding more basil and salt and pepper. And I served this with just some breadsticks, like some frozen breadsticks that I heated in the oven, and topped it with Parmesan cheese for serving. And this was my nephew's favorite. He likes like all things spaghetti-ish. So he ate, he's a smaller guy, and he had like 3 bowls full of this, so he was like, this is bussin'. Again, he's a young kid. I don't quite understand what all those terms mean, but apparently that means good. So, and my husband liked it too. And I just thought the tortellini, you don't need tortellini for this, but I just thought it would add a little something extra. For this last meal, I am just making a pork roast and mashed potatoes and gravy. So I have that pork roast there. I'm seasoning it with garlic powder, ground sage, paprika, thyme, and salt and pepper. And then I obviously sprinkled all that on, and then I rubbed / pressed it in to the pork with the back of a spoon. I could have been fancy and well, it's not really fancy, but I could have rubbed it in with my own hands, but I just didn't want to do that. So I used the back of a spoon and kind of pressed it in there. And then super easy, I just covered this and threw it in the oven. I did have this in the oven significantly before any sort of eating time, because it took obviously a while to cook. I think it was at least close to an hour, I would say. And then I made mashed potatoes like I always do, but here I am making just a super simple gravy. So I melted some butter, and I'm adding flour to make a roux, and then I will just be adding beef bouillon cubes and water for the broth aspect, and then basically whisk and simmer it and babysit it. I did add salt and pepper to this, not very much salt, but quite a bit of pepper. I will say this is not my favorite gravy that I've ever made, but you win some, you lose some. So it was good. The guys liked it. It went well with the pork roast and the mashed potatoes, but I've done better, I will say. I did serve this with a side salad, but as I was editing this, I realized I didn't get a picture of that because they were super hungry and waiting for me to finish, so they had ate it before I was done with everything else. So I would like to wish everyone a happy holidays. It's a holiday season. Hope you have a good time with your family. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back for future videos.